So I'm working with my son. We have this app called Essay, which we launched back in November, that teaches people how to write while they use it. And he just developed dark mode for that. That was released this week, and we got about 8,000 subscribers on that.
Dark mode meaning?
Dark mode. You can use it at night without blinding yourself. And so it teaches you how to write while you use it. It's a word processor, but it teaches you how to write and to think, because if you learn to write, you learn to think. And it teaches you how to edit, to concentrate on each word, to evaluate every phrase, to evaluate every sentence, to evaluate the organization of sentences within paragraphs and paragraphs within sequenced properly within the essay, and to think about how to produce a set of thoughts and then how to critically evaluate them. So that's fun. That's going very well. We have, like I said, about 8,000 subscribers now and I think it's about 80,000 users. And so that's a good project, because we'd like to teach 1 million people to write. I think the ordinary person, if they used Essay instead of a standard word processor, the first thing they wrote would be the best thing they ever wrote, right off the bat. Because we built the tools right into the software. Like, it steps you through the process of writing.
How so?
Well, one of the features, for example, is, so imagine that you want to write about something, whatever it is. The first question is, well, what problem are you trying to solve? What's the question here? And then there's an injunction in the documentation. If the question that you're trying to solve doesn't grip you, then you're starting the whole bloody thing off with a lie. Like, it has to be something you care about. It has to be something that grips you. So it has to be a question you want the answer to, like the questions you ask in the podcast. And then what? Well, then you write down what you think. And if you don't know enough, go read. And then write down what you think. And don't worry about ordering it. Just get it down. And then it steps you through. It's like, okay, here's a paragraph you wrote. Well, break the paragraph into sentences. Now, here's a little box that opens up. Write 5 variants of the sentence. Shorten it, make it more concise. Write 5 variants that makes that sentence precise. When you get a better sentence, hit click and it'll snap into the essay. Then there's another module that helps you move the sentences around. So here's your paragraph. Well, maybe there are too many sentences in it and the sentences aren't in the right place. Order the sentences so that each paragraph is like a little coherent essay. And so then do the same thing with the paragraphs. If you run through so we ask people, separate production from editing. Get the question right. Do your research. Separate production from editing. Overproduce, then edit. Edit for words. Did you use the right word? Is every word the right word? Is every phrase the right phrase? Are the phrases organized into proper sentences? Are the sentences sequenced properly? And so that's the editing. There's no difference between that really and critical thinking. So that's the essay app. And I used that process for my students, earlier iterations of this, and by the third draft of the essays they wrote, they were the best essays they ever wrote in their life. Like, this actually works. It's how I write, by the way, for whatever utility that might be. It is how I write. I tried to formalize that. And then with my daughter, Michaela, I've started this PETERSON Academy, and our plan, this is a funny plan, we want to drive the cost of a bachelor's degree down to $4,000. And so we've got 30 professors on board so far. I've been able to identify stellar lecturers from all over the world. We bought a studio in Miami. We have the professors come there. We try to be very hospitable and to treat them well, which doesn't generally happen at universities, by the way. And they lecture they give 4 2-hour lectures on whatever they really want to teach about. And they have a lot of autonomy, we're not constraining them. It says the rule is, we'll put an audience together for you in the studio. We want you to teach what you love at the edge of your ability. And we'll offer that to as many people as we possibly can. We're pursuing accreditation through a variety of different avenues. So we hope to be able to, what we'll do is take 2 or 3 of those 8-hour lectures, bundle them together. That'll give you 1 university credit. We want to get actual credit for it. And then we're planning as well, we hope. So imagine we charge tuition, and we'll try to keep that low cost. Like I said, we want to knock the cost of the whole degree down to $4,000. That's 95% reduction in cost. That's the plan. And then if you're in the developed world, we'd like to offer you the opportunity to pair yourself with a student in the developing world who couldn't afford it, and we'll give them the opportunity for free, but they'll be like your partner. So that should produce some interesting partnerships between people, but also give people who don't have access to high quality university level education a real in. And we are talking to some different institutions, mortar and brick institutions, about how accreditation might be pursued and how we could partner with them to also offer people other elements of the university experience that you can't easily virtualize. And we've developed a good app that adds a social component to it so that people can discuss the lectures while they're watching them, and can make social contacts and maybe have meetup groups in different cities. And so we want to universalize higher education, and then we're gonna set the grading system in stone. So the grade you'll get for this university will be your performance. So there'll be no grade inflation. So what we're hoping too is that if we're going to also, amalgamate it with this essay program so that all our graduates will be able to write. We're hoping that a degree from this university will indicate to employers a true level of competence. And so that's the plan. And we've got, like I said, we have 30 professors on board already. I recorded 3 lectures for it now, one on the Sermon on the Mount, so that was really fun. One on, it'll be a 2-part one, but I did the first half of Nietzsche's Beyond Good and Evil. And I did a 8-hour summary of my book, Maps of Meaning. And so we have all sorts of other people who are, from Cambridge and Oxford and Stanford and MIT, and then people from outside the academy too who are brilliant. Jonathan Pajot just did a series on symbolic thought. He's absolutely brilliant. Deepest religious thinker I've ever met. Old Testament prophet, man. Something to see. So we're going to roll that out, we hope, in November. And, I'm working with the Daily Wire, and that seems to be going great too. They've been great partners. They leave me the hell alone. I can still do my YouTube channel and offer it for nothing. I do some extra work for them behind the scenes. I do a 30-minute interview after my YouTube interviews and put that behind the paywall. And I've done a bunch of documentaries for them, some on Western civilization, and they've been really good partners. Like I said, they leave me alone and they help me. That's a pretty good deal.